Is the screen visible, ma? Is the screen visible to all of you? So good afternoon. So today we will discuss about the JFET operation and its VI characteristics. Okay, so I think people are still joining. So can anybody tell me what we have discussed in the previous class? Yes, ma'am, what we have discussed in the previous class? You remember? Yes, N channel and P channel JFET, FET's introduction, classification. Yes, and also the advantages of FET over BJT. Yes, and the symbols and why we are you going for FET instead of having BJT. Can anybody tell me the advantages of FET over BJT? Yes, we have many advantages. That's why we are using FET instead of BJT. Yes, less noisy, unipolar, and good thermal stability. Yes, easy to fabricate. Okay, very good. And yes. And can you tell me FET is a voltage control device or a current control device? Yes, high input impedance. Very important point. Okay. And tell me, FET is a voltage control device or yes, FET is a voltage control device. Means what? Means what? Voltage control device means what? Why it is called voltage control device? Because output current depends on input voltage, or output current can be controlled by the input voltage. Yes, very good. And what is BJT? BJT is a current control device. Current depends on voltage. Yes, very good. And BJT is a, what is BJT? BJT is a current control device. Okay, so that is the basic difference between BJT and FET. Okay, so and we have also seen the classification of FETs. So the general FET is classified into two types, JFET and MOSFET. The classification also we have seen in the previous class. And out of this classification, the first part we are learning today, that is JFET. We are learning completely about JFET device. Okay, and MOSFET we will see it in the next class. So on the screen you can see what is JFET. JFET is also called as JFET. So JFET implies a normal FET. Okay. So the full form of JFET is junction field effect transistor. Okay, ma? So today in today's class we are going to discuss about the basic construction of a JFET, implies a normal FET, okay, and its operation, its characteristics, its performance, the formulas describing the output current, etc. Everything we will see today. And tomorrow's class we will see about MOSFET and the remaining topics. Okay, ma? Okay, so listen carefully. If you miss at any instant, then it will be difficult for you to follow. And just for a few minutes, already we have seen all these things in the previous class, but if somebody was absent in the last class, just overview for them. A field voltage control device, that is output characteristics of the device are controlled. First one is junction field effect transistor. That's divided into two types. One is the one is MOSFET. MOSFET voice king up. Voice king up. 1 second. Yes, ma, is it okay now? Is the voice breaking still now, or it is okay? Okay, ma. Cluster field effect transistor. So MOSFET is also called as integrated gate field effect transistor. Okay, so that we will see in later. Now field JFET, there are 3 or 2 to 3 basic points that we'll see in carrier, that is electrons or holes. That is JFET is a unipolar device, and the current conduction is controlled by the means of a field between the gate and conducting channel of the device. And the most important point, that is it's Is it okay, ma? Sorry for the disturbance. I don't know what happened. Is it fine now, ma? Yes, okay. So let us make it. See here on the screen, you can see diagrams in which we can see the construction of an N-channel FET and a P-channel FET. See here in the previous class also have shown this diagram. There are two diagrams. In the first diagram, you can see a channel which is made up of P-type. Okay. See here, this is P-type. So if the channel is of P-type material, then it is called as a P-channel JFET, and an N-type material is injected into the P-type substrate. That from that N-type material, we are taking a common terminals out, and taken as a common terminal out, that is called as a gate terminal. And to this main rectangular bar of P-type material, we'll take another two terminals, that is drain and source. Okay, so this is the basic construction of a P-channel FET. And to the other diagram, if you see, the main rectangular bar is made up of N-type material. So the channel is also of N-type semiconductor material. And in that N-type rectangular bar, we are injecting inducing P-type substrate. Okay, so from the P-type substrate, a common terminal is taken out from the both sides of the rectangular bar, and that common terminal is called as a gate. Okay, and from the main N-type bar, we take another two terminals called as drain and source here. Okay, so this is the construction of N-channel and P-channel JFET. So FET has three terminals. So drain and source are taken from the common material, that is either N-type material if it is for N-channel JFET, and P-type material if it is for P-channel JFET. Okay, so this is a basic construction, and channel is also made up of N-type. So see, the name is given based on the main rectangular bar, that is if it is an N-type bar on which P substrate is induced, then the name of the FET will also be taken with respect to the channel type of material. That is, if the channel is of N-type, then it is called N-channel JFET, and if the channel is of P-type, then it is called as P-type material. Okay, the same points are being written here. And one more point, see, if you observe the diagram, there are two PN junctions. Okay, so N-type, if you see the first diagram, see here, this is N-type material. Okay, and this is P, and this is again N. Okay, so these two form a PN junction, and these two form a PN junction. So how many PN junctions are there on a whole in a JFET? There are two PN junctions. Here also same thing. P, N, this is one PN junction. Okay, here it is P-type, and the channel is of N-type, and this is also P-type, and channel is of N-type. So here also you have another PN junction. So either you take N-channel JFET or P-channel JFET, we have two PN junctions. Okay, so first we will study the basic operation of an N-channel JFET circuit. So when you give the proper power supplies to an N-channel JFET, it looks something like this, which you can see on the screen. Okay, see here, the drain is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. See, the drain is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Okay, see here, the drain part is connected to positive terminal of the battery, and the source part is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. And here drain and source are taken from the same N channel, that is N type of material. Okay, so the probability you have that you can interchange the drain and source terminal, but drain should be always connected to the positive terminal if you are considering an N channel JFET circuit. Okay, this point you should be noted. And as we have already discussed that a common terminal is taken from the two P-type materials, that is as gate. So gate and source supply will be always reverse bias. Okay, see here, P, when we call it as a reverse bias, when P-type material is connected to negative of the battery and N-type material is connected to positive of the battery, then with that type of connection is called as reverse bias connection. So here also if you see, gate it is taken from the P-type material. Okay, so P is connected to the negative of the battery, and here N channel, the source terminal, it is connected to the positive of the battery. Okay, so gate and source is always reverse bias, and drain is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. These are the conditions applicable only for N channel JFET. And if you are going for P channel JFET, then these polarities will be reversed. Okay. And based on the previous diagram, the following points we may be understanding. See that the input circuit, that is gate to source of a JFET, is reverse bias. This means that the device has high input impedance. Yes, we know that when the PN junction is reverse bias, a very small amount of current flows, that is in the order of microamps, and which offers a very high input impedance. Okay, so when the input junction of this circuit is what? VGS, that is gate to source supply. So this junction is reverse bias, so the input impedance of a JFET is very, very high. That is the first point. And the drain is so biased with respect to source that drain current ID flows from source to drain. Yes, see here, the electrons enter from source to drain. Electrons move from source to drain, but the conventional current flows from drain to source. And next last point is, in all JFETs, source current, that is IS, is equal to the drain current. That is, source current is equal to drain current. Okay, so these 3 points we need to understand, and these are fixed for N channel JFET, and these points will be reversed if you go for like the polarities will be reversed if you go for P channel JFET operation. Okay, now we will see the actual working principle of a N channel JFET. Listen clearly, all of you. Very important concept, and if you understand JFET, MOSFET is very simple. Okay, ma? So to make it is in an easy way, I am dividing the complete operation into 4 parts. Okay, the 4 basic parts. We will go one by one in a very slow manner. So first we will understand the there are like 4 conditions are being taken here. Okay, based on the supplies, because we have 2 supplies in the circuit. See, the operation varies with these 2 supplies. That is, here it is shown as VDD and VGG. So based on the variation in the supply voltages, the operation of the N channel JFET varies. Okay, so based on the supplies, I have divided it into 4 different phases, we can say. Okay, so I'll be explaining each phase one by one. Follow it, ma. Listen carefully. Okay, so the 4 basic operating conditions for JFET are: first condition is VGS and VDS. VGS means gate to source voltage. Okay, and VDS means drain to source voltage. Okay, so first condition is when both the voltages are 0. And second condition is when VGS is 0 and VDS is increasing. That is, we are maintaining the gate to source voltage as 0 level only, and increasing the drain to source voltage. What happens then? What happens to the FET operation? That we will see, and then we will move on to VGS to the negative supply and VDS still increasing. Okay, and the fourth condition is when VGS is given positive voltage and VDS is increasing. So all the 4 phases we will see. So on a whole, when you consider all the 4 conditions, then you will understand the total operation of a JFET. Okay, it seems like this, but it is very simple. But listen carefully. So now I am considering the first case. So the first case is what? VGS 0 and VDS 0. Okay, now tell me what happens, ma? If VDS is 0 and VGS is 0, both the supply voltages are 0. You can see the circuit diagram here. See here, ma. And this operation is explained based on N-channel JFET, considering an N-channel JFET, ma. So, N-channel means the main substrate will be of N-type material, the main rectangular bar, and P-type materials are induced here. And out of this P-type materials, a gate terminal is taken out. Okay, because we should be very clear with the type of materials. Okay, and from N channel only the drain and source terminals are taken out. Okay, so now the first case is what? Both VDS and VGS is equal to 0, means no supplies are given. So when no supplies are given, what happens to PN junction? See, by default, FET is a combination of two PN junctions. That you should keep in mind. FET is not a new kind of material or nothing like that. It is simply just a combination of two PN diodes. That's all. Okay. We can also similarly say that it is BJT, but the structure is being different, so operation is being different. That's all. Now, what happens to the PN junction? An open circuit. Recollect your fundamentals, first unit. When nothing, open circuited PN junction, what happens? When nothing is given, just when P-type and N-type materials are combined together, depletion layer is formed because of diffusion process. And why diffusion takes place? Because why diffusion takes place? Because of concentration gradient. Variation in the densities of the carriers, diffusion takes place, and because of diffusion, depletion layer is formed. Same thing happens here. But here two PN junctions are there here. This is one combination. This is one combination of PN junction, and this is another combination of PN junction. So when PN junction, two semiconductor P and N materials are combined together, depletion layer is formed. You can see on the screen, this shaded region is nothing but the depletion region. Okay. Now, depletion layer is uniform here because there is no supply, no VGS and no VDS. No supplies are there. It is not simply as simple as an open circuited PN junction. Depletion layer is formed. That's all. So the same, you can read the points here. When VDS is 0 and VGS is 0, the thickness of the depletion layer around the PN junctions is uniform as shown, and the depletion region penetrates more into the channel since gates are heavily doped. Now you should get a question, you should get a doubt here. Why the depletion layer is shown towards the N-type bar? See here, PN junction is a combination like so your depletion layer should also form inside this P-type material. But this is not shown because P is very heavily doped as compared to N-type material. Okay. So since P is very heavily doped, there are more number of carriers in the P-type material. Okay. So the diffusion takes place more from P to N because the carriers are more in number in the P-type material. So the depletion layer is penetrating more into N-type material as compared from N to P. Okay, because N is lightly doped as compared to P region. So since P is heavily doped, the depletion layer is penetrating more in the N-type bar, and the depletion layer into the P-type material is neglected here. Okay. So this is the first case. So first case is very simple, only formation of depletion layer, and depletion layer is moving more into N-type bar because P is heavily doped. More number of carriers are present in P-type material. Okay. Now we will move on to the second case. See here, now VGS is 0. See the diagram. The gate to source supply is 0. See here, gate to source supply is 0 volts, but we are giving the drain to source supply. Okay, this supply voltage is termed as VDD. Okay. Now see here, what happens when VGS is 0 and VDS is increased from 0 to some positive value. This is the second case we are discussing now. And since VDD is given, what happens? The electrons will be moving from source to drain. That is the first point. Means as VDS is increasing, the current ID will be increasing. Okay. The electrons are moving from source to drain, and the conventional current will be moving from drain to source. You can see here. Okay. This is the flow of current direction, ID. And next one, the depletion region increases. But if you see the diagram, the depletion region is increasing something like this. Okay, see here. It is like not in an even case. In the previous diagram, the depletion region was even on both sides. Okay, but when you see the second case, when VDS is increasing, ID is increasing. This is the first point. But depletion region is also increasing, but in an uneven manner. See this uneven manner. Why this uneven manner of increasing depletion layer? Because the reverse bias near the drain is increasing. So why this reverse bias is increasing? From where reverse bias is being coming into picture? You may get a doubt. That I'll explain now. See here. Actually, the reverse bias is 0. Okay, the reverse bias is 0. But when VDD is being increased, see here, drain is connected to which type of semiconductor material? N type of semiconductor material. But N is given to what? To the positive terminal. Means when VDS is increasing, internally the reverse bias is also increasing. So reverse bias is increasing means what? The depletion width is increasing, and with the increasing of the depletion layer, what happens to the channel? Channel is nothing but the path through which the electrons are moving. Okay, so the width of the channel is decreasing. Okay, and because this width of the channel is decreasing, because of the increase of the reverse bias, the resistance is also increasing. Means the path is decreasing where the flow of current, the path available for the flow of current is reducing. Okay, so this you try to understand, ma. In the second case, the first point is as VDD is increasing, that is VDS is increasing, ID is increasing. First this point you note down now. See ID, the current ID is increasing. Okay, because VDS is increasing. As of now you understand this. I'll explain this reverse bias concept again. See here, ma, this is the drain characteristics of a JFET. See, when you are considering the second case, what is our second case? VGS is 0 and VDS is increasing. Remember this. There is no gate to source supply. Only we are increasing the VDS. So when we are doing this, when VDS is increasing, initially ID is increasing. That is drain current is increasing. So that region is represented on the graph like this, ma. Okay, here you can see an ohmic region. One second. See here, you can see an ohmic region, ma, here. So the drain characteristics of a JFET is divided into 3 parts. So the first part we are seeing on the graph now. Okay, so this blue shaded region, this lines is nothing but ohmic region. Ohmic region is defined as the region where VDS is increasing, so ID is increasing. That's all, as simple as that. How do you define as ohmic region? Okay, ohmic region is the region where VDS, when increasing VDS, ID is also increasing. So in the second case, the first observation that we have done is observation of ohmic region in the drain characteristics of JFET. Okay, I hope everyone has understood this. This is the graph drawn between VDS and ID, ma. Okay, we are drawing a graph between VDS and ID. ID is represented, it is in the order of milliamps. Okay, so first we have represented ohmic region in our drain characteristics. Everyone have understood till ohmic characteristics? Then I'll move to the second case, like how is negative terminal of VDD is connected to P-type semiconductor. Not negative, see here. Negative terminal. See, for VGS we have not given any connection till now. This is the second case where no connection is, VGS is 0. Only we are giving to VDS, that is drain to supply we are giving. Okay, we are not giving any connection to P-type material. P-type, from the P-type material, we are taking a gate terminal outside and our gate to source supply is 0. At present, we are considering only second case where the gate to source supply is 0. No connection is given to P-type material and we are giving connection only to the N-type bar, that is VDS. From drain and source are both taken from N-type bar. Okay, drain is connected to the positive terminal and source is connected to the negative terminal. We are still discussing about when this VDS is varying, what happens. Okay, later in the third case we will give supply to VGS where P-type material is given a supply, and this operation is explained based on N-channel JFET. So if N-channel means the main bar will be of N-type material. Okay, now, so ohmic region is the region where, yes, actually drain is connected to positive terminal but internally it is reverse biased. That is what I am explaining. First you understand ohmic region, then I will explain about this reverse bias concept. Based on that, our next operation will be dependent. Okay, see here, ohmic region, have you all understood? So there are three regions in the drain characteristics of FET. First we have understood, that is ohmic region. Ohmic region is the region where VDS increasing, so ID is increasing. That's all, as simple as that. Now we will move to the next case and understand what is this saturation and breakdown region. See here, since if you see the circuit, if you see the circuit here, as VDD is increasing, the current is increasing. That is nothing but ohmic region concept. Now if you still increase VDD, then the reverse bias near the drain will be increasing. You might have a doubt that from where this reverse bias has come into picture, as we have not given any supply to gate and source. Yes, from the beginning we are saying that if gate and source is a reverse bias, when we give a reverse bias to gate and source, that is nothing but high impedance state and all. Okay, but here this gate to source supply is 0. Now from where this reverse bias concept has come into picture, you might have doubt here. See here. See here, drain. What is this material? The N-channel FET we are discussing, and this channel itself is of N-type material. Okay, so N is connected to what? The positive terminal of the battery. This itself tells that internally the drain is reverse biased. Okay, the drain to N-type junction, this part is reverse biased, means drain is more reverse biased as compared to source. Okay, so due to this, what happens? The depletion layer is increased. So what happens in reverse biased PN junction? Width of the depletion region increases. So when this VDS is increasing, reverse bias at the drain, I am specifically saying, At the drain part only, at the drain terminal only I'm talking about. Okay, so at the drain, the reverse bias will be increasing. So when reverse bias increases, the width of the depletion layer still increases. And if the depletion layer increases, what happens to the channel? Channel width. See here, the width of the channel is decreased. Okay, and due to this, what happens? The path from where the current is flowing, the road, we can say, the path is decreasing. Means it is offering more resistance near the drain terminal for the current to flow. Okay, means since the path is being reduced, the current will be opposed more. Means we can say that the resistance is offered more near the drain part, drain terminal. Due to which what happens? The voltage drop near the drain increases. Okay, so that's why, because of that reason only, you can see here the depletion layer shape is being varied near the drain junction. Okay, or drain terminal. See here, the shape, this shape is called as wedge shaped. Wedge shaped. See, it is lower near the source terminal, but it is somewhat like projected depletion layer near the drain terminal. This is called as wedge shaped. Yes, due to the reverse bias at the drain, the depletion is uneven. Very good, ma. Very good. See here, I'll explain once again. Only 3 points. See, as VDS is increasing, since the drain is an N-type material, see here, the drain terminal is completely an N-type material. N is connected to the positive terminal. Okay, so reverse bias near the drain is more. Okay, so reverse bias is more means what happens? The depletion width will be increasing. Okay, as compared to source terminal. Okay, so the reverse bias is increasing, depletion width is increasing, and the channel width is reducing near the drain terminal. So that's why the shape of the depletion layer is somewhat more or penetrating more near the drain terminal and less near the source terminal. Okay, so due to this, what happens? The channel is being reduced or narrowed near the drain as compared to source. Okay, so because it is narrowing near the drain, the resistance offered near the drain terminal is more. So that we will see in this diagram. See here, the wedge shaped. We call this as a wedge shaped. Okay, we call this as wedge shaped. See here, the penetration of the depletion layer, is more near the drain as compared to source, because the reverse bias is more near the drain. This is drain terminal and this is source terminal. Okay, so the resistance offered near the drain will be more because the channel width is reduced near the drain. So due to this, the current is flowing. The current is not reducing. The current is flowing, but resistance is more. Resistance offered is more on the flow of current. So the voltage drop is more near the drain. Hence it is written on the diagram. You can see near the drain the voltage drop is more, 3 volts. And as we come to near to the source, the voltage drop is reducing. That is 3 volts. It is near the drain. 2 volts, 1 volt and 0 volt. Okay. So this is the resistance because of the internal reverse bias. This reverse bias is not mentioned anywhere. But internally, since the drain is connected to an N-type material and it is connected to more positive terminal, so more reverse bias is offered by the drain terminal. Okay, so more reverse bias near the drain. So the depletion width is also depletion layer is also increasing more near the drain, and so because of that resistance is more, means reverse bias means high resistance it will be. So more resistance near the drain. Okay, so more resistance means since current is flowing, so voltage drop will be more near the drain. Okay, so this is the overall concept in the second case. First, in the second case, we have understood 2 points here. One is ohmic region, that is VDS increasing, so ID is increasing, and next part is this reverse bias concept, the wedge shaped depletion layer. Okay, have you all understood till here? Till this uneven distribution of depletion layer. So if you have understood, then we will move on to the next part. So this is the main core concept of our JFET. Very good. Okay. Now after this, what happens? If I still increase VDS, can anybody tell me? If I still increase VDS beyond this point, what happens? Current direction is from drain to source. Because the electrons are moving from source to drain, the current direction will be, the conventional current direction is nothing but movement of holes that is in the opposite direction to the flow of current. That is, the current direction will be from drain to source. Okay. Now I want the answer for this question, If I still increase VDS, what happens? Before breakdown, yes, your answer is correct. Breakdown will occur, but before breakdown, there is another small point here where the two depletion layers touch each other. Okay, see this diagram. See this diagram. What happens here? What happens here? So before occurring of breakdown, there is a like a thin region where the two depletion regions touch each other if I go on increasing VDS. Okay, so this stage occurs before breakdown. After this, breakdown occurs. Okay, so the region or the voltage, the VDS voltage at which the two depletion layers touch each other is called as pinch off region or pinch off voltage. Okay, so what is pinch off? Pinch off is the region where the two depletion layers touch each other, and the pinch off voltage is the VDS voltage at which two depletion layers touch each other. Okay, so you can read this point here on the screen. First point, as VDS increases, depletion region penetrates more into the channel, and at some point it closes the channel near the drain side as shown in the figure. So the effective channel height decreases. So this saturation is called as pinch off. And at this voltage, the channel is said to be pinched off, and the drain voltage VP is called as pinch off voltage. Yes. So when this pinch off point is reached, the drain current will be at the maximum saturation level. Okay. So the current reaches to the maximum point, and when pinch off is obtained, the current is maintained constant. There will be no increase. Even though if you increase your VDS, there will be no increase in the current. Current remains constant near pinch off region. Okay. So I will show you this pinch off point also on the drain characteristics. See here, So ohmic region, what is ohmic region? As VDS increases, ID increases. So this blue shaded region is nothing but ohmic region. And next, and these black dots that you can see on the graph, this one, all these dots are nothing but pinch off voltage points. Okay, or knee voltage, we call it as knee voltage, where the saturation is reached. And till now we are in the second case, that is VGS is 0 and VDS is increasing. I am increasing VDS. Okay, and VGS is still maintained constant. Still we have not given any amount of external reverse bias. still we are increasing VDS, but a stage has come where the pinch off point has been occurred. Okay, so this pinch off point. So how do you define pinch off voltage? The VDS voltage at which the drain current is maximum. So see this, when the drain current reaches the saturation point at pinch off, that current is called as IDSS. That is full form. How do you abbreviate IDSS? Drain to source saturation current. Okay, so this drain to source saturation current is obtained at the pinch off point or pinch off voltage. Okay, and at pinch off, the drain current will be at saturation level. Okay, and it will be at certain amount of time. You can see on the graph. So from pinch off, even though if you increase your VDS till breakdown, the current is constant. That is called as saturation level. Now, even after saturation, if you still increase VDS, what happens? Here, avalanche breakdown occurs. Okay, there we have two types of breakdowns if you remember. One is avalanche breakdown and another is Zener breakdown. But in JFET, avalanche breakdown takes place. What is breakdown? Breakdown means a heavy amount of current flows. Okay, because of high applied voltage and high reverse bias, the covalent bonds will be broken out and more number of carriers are released, and avalanche multiplication. How avalanche breakdown occurs? Because of avalanche multiplication. Carrier multiplication takes place. Okay, so breakdown occurs. Okay, so this is all about your second condition. What is our second condition? Second condition is nothing but VGS is 0 and VDS is increasing. Okay, have you all understood till here? What is pinch off region, pinch off voltage, pinch off point? Okay, and at pinch off, the current will be high and it is maintained constant beyond pinch off region, and that current is called as IDSS, drain to source saturation current, and that region is nothing but saturation region, which you can see on the graph. Okay, now next cases we will see, that is third and fourth case, where VGS, when we give a supply to VGS, that is gate to source supply is being given. Okay, ma? So this we will see. So the points are written here. Read the first point, ma. See, after VP, one second. After VP, that is after pinch off, if VDS is further increased and ID does not increase and remains constant, this region in drain characteristics is called as constant current region or saturation region. At pinch off, ID is maintained at the saturation level defined as IDSS. Okay, so therefore the third point I am reading, ma. Therefore at VGS is equal to 0, ID is maximum, then ID is equal to IDSS. And next, fourth point, just read this fourth point. IDSS is the maximum drain current for a JFET and is defined by the conditions VGS is equal to 0 and for VDS greater than mod of VP. Because VP can be a negative voltage also, because VGS is negative. When we give VGS supply, that's why it is taken as modulus. And if VDS is further increased due to avalanche multiplication or breakdown, the drain current drastically increases as shown in the drain characteristics. Okay, so this is all about our second condition. So now we will move on to the next third case. See, ma, here there is a diagram shown. JFET modeling when ID is equal to IDSS, VGS is equal to 0, VDS is greater than VP. Okay, so when VGS is 0 and VDS is applied at pinch off, ID is equal to IDS. It's a simple, whatever we have learned in a point wise, it is drawn as a circuit wise. So modeling JFET model. Okay, and next and one more thing. See here, the saturation region that we said at pinch off, the drain current is maximum and drain current is maximum and it is maintained at maximum saturation level, and that region is called as saturation region. So this saturation region is used for us for amplification purpose. We can also use our FETs as amplifiers. So for amplification purpose, the FET should be operated under saturation region. That is what is being written here, ma. The region to the right of pinch off locus of the figure is the region typically employed in linear amplifiers. Amplifiers with minimum distortion of the applied signal and is commonly referred to as constant current or saturation or linear amplification region. Okay, so remember that when a FET is used as an amplifier, then it is operated under saturation region. Okay, same as our BJT. If you want our BJT to be operated as an amplifier, then we will operate it in the active region. And if we want to operate as a switch, then we will operate in saturation or cutoff region. If you remember BJT concepts. Okay, so if you want to operate FET as an amplifier, then it should be operated under saturation region because the current is constant here and the distortion is very less. Okay, so this is about our second case. Now third case ma. So till the two cases, have you all understood the pinch off point, the saturation and ohmic region, breakdown region? If you have any doubts, we will clear it now itself, ma. Because MOSFET, everything will be like somewhat this only. And this is very important FET operation for your exams also. Nothing to buttify, ma. If you have understood the concept, happily you can write your answers. Diagrams are also very simple. If anybody have doubt or if it is clear, then we will move on to the third case. Is it okay, ma? Okay, done. Now I will explain the case, third case and fourth case with the help of these characteristics only, and you will tell me the answers. Because it is very simple. We have understood the second case when VGS is 0 and VDS is given. Now what we are doing, see, VGS I want to give some, because VGS right from starting we are saying that VGS is reverse bias. Because of this reverse bias only, high input impedance is available for the FET. Now, so because of that reverse bias, to satisfy that reverse bias condition, I am giving the negative voltage for VGS. That is, first I want to give -1 volt. Then what happens to the pinch off point? Can anybody tell me? I am giving some supply voltage to VGS, that is negative voltage. Why negative? Because reverse bias. I need to satisfy the condition of reverse bias. See the diagram. See the diagram. See the diagram here, circuit diagram. See here, till now we have given only VDD, but now I am giving this supply also. Okay, but VGS I need to give which supply? I need to give the which bias? Reverse bias I need to give. So gate is connected to P-type material and source is connected to N-type material. So which bias I need to give? P should be connected to negative terminal and N should be connected to positive terminal, which satisfies our reverse bias condition. So this bias I am giving now. Okay. So that is the bias which we are giving in the third case. That is P2 negative and N2 positive. So I am giving reverse bias. Now when VGS is minus 1 volt, what are the changes that you can observe in the graph? Can anybody tell me where we are getting this pinch off point? What is the voltage I need to give VDS voltage? Is it will be more or less? Can anybody answer my question? And at what level I am getting the saturation current? If VGS is given, means till now the operation is being understood with the internal reverse bias because of VDS. But now I am externally also I am giving some amount of reverse bias. So what happens? Less VDS. Yes, less VDS and VP is available at a lesser voltages. For less value of VDS, I am getting the pinch off level at less voltages. See here. See, when VGS is minus 1 volt, if you observe the diagram, VP is available at a very less voltage of VDS. Have you all understood? Till now, when VGS was 0, I required more amount of VDS because internally the reverse bias has to be established and pinch off point has to be obtained. But I am giving an external VGS, that is I am giving an external minus 1 volt of reverse bias externally, then the requirement of VDS, that is drain to source voltage, is being less. Okay, and pinch off point voltage level also is obtained at a lesser voltage of VDS. The requirement of VDS is very less now when I am giving an external supply, negative supply. If you still give more amount of reverse bias, the VP is still more obtained at the very less voltages of VDS. And if you go on increasing this reverse voltage, that is reverse bias on gate supply, the requirement of VDS is being still reduced and the obtaining of saturation level of the current is also being reduced. Means for less voltages of VDS only I am getting the saturation value. Okay, and if you still go on increasing VGS beyond and more, a stage will come where the ID will be equal to 0. This condition is called as off state of FET. Okay, this condition means by controlling VGS, you can switch off your device or you can make your drain current to 0. Hence the name, that is what we are saying now, voltage control device. FET is a voltage control device. Yes, by varying VGS, means gate to source voltage, by varying the input voltage, you can control the output current. Okay, from that only it has got this. Okay, so hence the FET is a voltage controlled device. Then which is the input voltage here? VGS. VGS is the input voltage. So if you vary VGS, the output current is what? ID. ID is varying. Okay, so that is what our third case. Third case, you see, so I am giving VGS as minus 1 volt and VDS is greater than 0. So externally reverse bias is being given. So because of this reverse bias, the obtaining of or the occurrence of pinch off point is being obtained at a very less voltages of VDS. Means it is obtained very early values, early voltages of VDS. See, you can see the point here. VGS is the controlling voltage of the JFET. And second point, for N-channel devices, the controlling voltage VGS is made more and more negative from its VGS 0 level. Yes, if you want to control the external current, that is the output current ID, then VGS has to be varied. And the third point you just go through, ma. The effect of the applied voltage VGS is to establish depletion regions similar to those obtained with VGS is equal to 0 volts, but a lower level of VDS to reach the saturation level at a lower level of VDS. Means we require less voltage. Very simple, ma. Don't get confused. When VGS is given, then the requirement of VDS will be less. Okay. So we get the pinch off voltages and the saturation level of the FET will be obtained at a early voltages. That's all, as simple as that. And you can also, I have already said using this drain characteristics, you can also turn off the device. You can switch off the device by varying VGS. See here, when VGS is equal to minus VP, will be sufficiently negative to establish saturation level, that is essentially 0 milliamps, and the device has been turned off. Okay. And you can see a point here, a VGS becomes more and more negative. The slope of each curve becomes more and more horizontal. Yes, you can see the graph here. If VGS is more and more negative, means if you go beyond this VGS minus 5, minus 6 and all, you can see the graph will be more horizontal. See this one. Okay. And the last case, that is VGS is positive and VDS is increasing. VDS positive means VGS positive means what, ma? It is also like going to the forward bias case. Okay, means increasing beyond 0 level. So if VGS is increased over 0 voltage, then we require still more VDS. Means pinch off will be available at a greater voltages of VDS. See here, if VGS is increased in a positive manner, means if it is 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt and all, then the requirement of VDS will be more. The pinch off voltage will be available at like this. It will be available here for the VGS is equal to 1 volt plus 1 volt, and pinch off voltage will be available here for VGS is equal to 2 volts, like that. Means requirement of VDS will be more if VGS is positive. So same thing is written here. When VGS is positive, the width of the depletion region decreases. Yes, because forward bias. Forward bias means width of the depletion region decreases, and hence at larger values of VDS, pinch off and breakdown occurs lately as shown in the drain characteristics. Okay. So these are all the 4 conditions of the JFET operation. I hope everyone have understood. If anybody have any doubts in this, you can please ask, ma. This is the operation of JFET. Okay. If anybody have any doubts. So this is the overall concept of JFET operation and VI characteristics. Shall I move to the next part? I'll show you a animation diagram where gate is being varied and drain is also being varied, drain voltage and gate voltage. See how the depletion region is being increased and varied. All of you look at this animation diagram. This is just for understanding purpose. So increasing the gate voltage widens the depletion zones, cutting down the flow. And you can see here drain voltage is being increased. See here. All of you observe here, ma. Drain voltage is being varied. See how depletion regions are being increased near the drain. Because reverse bias is more near the drain. Okay, so when both the depletion regions touch each other, it is nothing but pinch off point. Okay, and FET is also used as a voltage controlled resistor. V voltage controlled resistor is FET is also used as voltage control resistor in the ohmic region. Ohmic region, because as VDS increases, ID increases. But if you vary the gate voltage, that is VGS, then the RD is nothing but VDS by ID. Okay, so the drain resistance will be varying when you vary VGS. Okay, so this ohmic region is being considered as a FET voltage controlled resistor. FET can be used as a voltage controlled resistor because as VGS is varied, the RD is varied. RD is nothing but drain resistance, which is nothing but VDS by ID. So VDS and ID will be varying, that is resistance in the ohmic region is varied with respect to gate voltage VGS. So the JFET can also be used as a voltage variable resistor. This is a question of short answer type in your examination. How explain how a FET is used as a voltage control resistor or a voltage variable resistor. So you just simply need to write that in the ohmic region, FET can be used as a voltage variable resistor because the drain resistance will be varied with respect to gate to source voltage. That's all. Drain resistance is nothing but voltage VDS by ID. See here you can see the VGS controls the drain to source resistance. As VGS becomes more and more negative, the resistance increases. Hence, FET can be used as a voltage controlled resistor. And here you can see how the depletion widths will be varying with respect to the gate bias. So initially when there is no bias on the gate, then the depletion regions are uniform. And in the second diagram, if you give a small amount of VGS, then the width of the depletion regions have been increased. Now, if you give more amount of reverse bias, the two depletion regions touch each other. But because this is not with respect to VDS, this is with respect to VGS, so both the depletion regions are uniform here. But we have explained our operation with respect to VDS, so the depletion regions penetration was not uniform. Okay. Now the transfer characteristics, the input and output transfer characteristics of a JFET is not as a straightforward as it is for BJT. In a BJT, beta, that is current gain in common emitter configuration, HFE is defined as the relationship between IB and IC, input current and output current. But in effect, the relationship, that is Shockley's equation between VGS input voltage and the output current, is used to define the transfer characteristics, and a little more complicated, and it is not linear. Yes, you can see the graph now. Graph of a JFET is not linear. It is non-linear. And the equation will be for the drain current. It is nothing but ID is equal to, ID is equal to IDSS, that is drain to source saturation current, into 1 minus VGS by VP whole square. Okay. As a result, FETs are often referred to as square law devices. Okay. So they are nonlinear devices and because of this equation, they are considered as a square law devices. This equation is important, ma'am, for your exam. Write the drain current equation of a JFET. Sorry. Okay, so remember the equation. And these are the few relations when we consider the FET operation. So this circuit you can see, ma'am. This circuit implies the amplifier configuration of a JFET common source configuration. And here you can see the symbolic representation, the circuit is drawn with respect to the symbol of an n-channel JFET. See here, this symbol is nothing but a symbol of an n-channel JFET, and drain is connected to the positive of the supply, and negative of the supply is connected to the source, and this is P connected to the negative terminal of the battery on the gate, and positive is also connected to the source. Okay, so this is gate terminal, and gate to source voltage is reverse bias, so high input impedance, and drain to source, drain is connected to the positive terminal, and this is the overall characteristics that we have seen till now. Okay, and these are the some of the important equations based on the each region. First one is non-saturation or ohmic region, the VDS, because here only VDS is varying with respect to VGS, like VDS is varying and ID is increasing. So VDS is less than VGS minus VP, and this VGS will be like almost all 0, and it can be also negative, but when VGS is negative, the ohmic region will be of very less region it is considered, because the pinch off is available at a low voltages of VDS, and the drain current is given by IDS is equal to, in the ohmic region this is, so 2 IDSS by VP square into VGS minus VP into VDS minus VDS square by 2. No need to worry, ma. Just remember these equations. We will do some problems, but the problems will be mostly based on the drain current, the previous equation. But just you need to understand these relations. Okay, and the under saturation or pinch off region, the condition will be VDS far greater than or equal to VGS minus VP, and the drain current. Just now we have seen this relation ID is equal to IDSS into 1 minus VGS by VP whole square, the same equation under saturation region. You can also write in the same way, but if you solve you will get the same equation. Okay, IDSS is the maximum saturation drain to source current. And see, this graph is very important. See, the right side graph is nothing but the drain characteristics of the FET. This one from here. Okay, this is drain characteristics till now whatever we have seen, but the left side part of the graph is the transfer characteristics of FET. Okay, drain characteristics are drawn between VDS. Listen carefully, ma. You will be confused here. Drain characteristics are drawn between VDS and ID. Okay, whereas transfer characteristics are drawn between VGS and ID. Okay, so VDS and ID is called as drain characteristics. Whatever we have seen till now for the explanation. Drain characteristics, whereas the graph between VGS and ID is called as transfer characteristics. Remember this, these are the two different graphs, and you need to draw these two graphs when it comes for examination point of view. Okay, you need to explain the operation completely, and you need to draw this characteristic curve. Okay, now till the drain characteristics we have understood very clearly. Ohmic region, saturation region, and next comes the breakdown. Okay, VDS is increasing, ID is increasing. Okay, and pinch off region it will be obtained. But when we come to transfer characteristics, when VGS is increasing negatively, that is when reverse bias is increasing, the drain current is decreasing. Okay, so ID is equal to 0 milliamps, VGS is equal to VP. Okay, so you can define pinch off voltage with respect to VDS as well as VGS. Okay, when you explain or define pinch off voltage with respect to VDS, then ID will be maximum. When you explain or when you define pinch off voltage with respect to VGS, then ID will be equal to 0. You should be very clear with these two statements. Okay. So this is about the transfer characteristics and drain characteristics of JFET. And till now we have explained, I have explained only about the N-channel JFET. Okay, so N-channel JFET, this is common source configuration. In the next class, I will explain about the amplifiers, JFET amplifiers and all. So this is a circuit diagram for a common source amplifier. And here you can see for N-channel, so we have seen about the operation of N-channel JFET. These are the polarities required for N-channel. That is ID and VDS will be positive, whereas VGS is negative. And everything is same for P-channel JFET also. Only thing is you need to change the polarities. Okay, you need to change the polarities. That is ID and VDS will be negative and VGS will be positive. And in N channel, the carriers are electrons, whereas in P channel, the carriers will be holes. Because FET is a unipolar device, only only the majority carriers will give the output current. Okay. So in N channel, electrons will be flowing, so the final current will be due to flow of electrons, whereas in P channel it is because of holes. In P region the majority carriers are holes, so the output current is because of flow of holes. That is the only difference between N channel and P channel. The polarities are reversed and the carriers are being different. Okay, so this is about the today's class ma. If anybody have any doubts, you can just ask me, and I'll want to stop here. Tomorrow we will see the JFET parameters, the applications, and the amplifier part, or I'll discuss about MOSFET, enhancement mode and depletion mode MOSFET. Okay, clear ma, all of you? Anybody have any doubts? So okay ma, if no doubts, you can I want to wind up the session and yes, is it clear all of you? Okay ma. So you can leave the session. Thank you ma. There is no quiz, ma, because we need to complete the syllabus. So at the end of the unit, one complete session, I will conduct the quiz on the entire unit. Okay, I'll inform you before only. So maybe in the next week or the other week, we'll complete this unit. Then we will have only one quiz based on the entire unit. Okay, and those marks will be taken for the assignment marks. Okay. Okay.